Well, Christopher Nolan is back on the big screen, tackling the biography of Oppenheimer. I was somewhat familiar with this story. I've seen other films covering certain aspects of it. Most recently was Roland Joffe's Fat Man and Little Boy, which covered some of the same material. I was curious how Nolan was going to tackle this one. Seeing the runtime of over 3 hours, I was really curious if this would stick to the usual compelling nature that he has. And of course it does. As we see the world of Oppenheimer from a certain age trying to learn his craft, we follow him and his foibles as he makes his way through the world, ultimately leading this project to create a weapon of mass destruction that will ultimately cause a great deal of harm on the world. And that's the kind of journey where the film focuses at certain points, the obsession and the realization, spending time with a character as they chase something, as they try to create the impossible, as they push each other to create something, and then the realization afterwards of, well, one, we did it, two, we did it, what we're going to do now, and his idea of, we've got this weapon, do we have to use it, do we need to really show everybody the impact that this has, and the ultimate ramifications it has on the world. And I was ready for that story. I was looking forward to it. I knew that Nolan was going to handle these conversations, these insights, these moments perfectly well, because he's a master at that. But there's a whole other part of this movie that I did not see coming, and that was the more political intrigue that comes in the last hour of the film, after we've seen the bomb being built, after we've seen it going off. There's a good chunk of this film that goes down a different avenue that I didn't know was coming, and I found it to be fascinating, surprising, twisting and turning, with some amazing performances, and it created something that was really special and really different, which had me hooked. And I think I would go back and watch this again just primarily to see that second half of the movie. There are some things that Nolan does in this where he puts nods to some big moments in history or big characters that feel a little bit almost a nudge and a wink at the people watching the film. You know, we don't need that certain information, but it's given to us just because of who certain people are. Like, there's a moment later on with a vote. One of the people changes their vote, and it turns out to be a big political person. But we don't need to know that. It's not really part of the Oppenheimer story. The performances in here are absolutely fantastic, and I would expect no less, to be honest. I think Cillian Murphy is terrific as Oppenheimer, but Robert Downey Jr. really kind of steals the show in this one as Strauss, a man who is always in the background of the film, who is always he's always popping up, narrating different parts of it, different points, but has a big impact in the film. And I think Downey Jr.'s performance is just amazing, one of the best I've seen come from him. I really enjoyed Oppenheimer. I was captivated, I was enthralled. I thought, as usual, the sound in the cinema was a big part of this film, creating that epic feel in the film, and it's something that I would thoroughly recommend. The whole Barbenheimer aspect is something that I really can get behind. I find it really fun that these two movies, which are polar opposites, could be a double feature that just offers all kind of wonder, because you've got something that's popcorn, that's silly, that's fun and carefree, and then you go into something that's a biography, that's true to history, that is thrilling, exciting, very different. But that's what cinema is, and it's the joy of these kind of double bills that I I kind of look for, I live for. They're fantastic. I would love to know your thoughts on Oppenheimer. Particularly, where do you think it lands on Nolan's filmography? I think it's kind of up there. I think it's one of my favourite ones. Not near the top, but getting up there. A second watch may kind of reaffirm that, or maybe push it down, which I may get to at some point if I can conquer my watch pile at the moment. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on Oppenheimer in the comment box below. As always, there's more content up here. If you need to see more of my stuff, in the description box are links to the Patreon membership program and manvfilm.com, always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.